Today our topic is chemical bonding and molecular structure. A new chapter, comparatively a simple chapter. First, what is meant by a chemical bond? First, we will discuss the bond formation, chemical bonds, and some theories based on this chemical bond and molecular structure. So, what is a chemical bond? We can define it as the force which binds atoms together in a molecule. So, chemical bond is the force which binds atoms together in a molecule. Or we can say the attractive force which holds various constituents, atoms, ions, or group of atoms together in different chemical species is called a chemical bond. The molecule H2O, what hold hydrogen and oxygen together? That is chemical bond. In NH3, chemical bond, due to chemical bond, nitrogen and hydrogen existing together. That is a chemical bond. Why there is chemical bond in molecules? That is next question. Why these atoms exist together? What is the need of combining of atoms? These are the next questions. So many scientists try to find out the answer for this question, and they explain the formation of bonds in different way. We can analyze it one by one. The first one is octet rule or Coastal-Lewis approach to chemical bond. What is octet rule? When we observe the noble gases, we can see they have 8 electrons in the outermost shell. They are highly stable. 8 electrons in the outermost shell, and also they are highly stable. Therefore, in Coastal-Lewis approach, they suggested that for stability, all the atoms require 8 electrons in their outermost shell. And that is octet rule. Electron theory of chemical bonding, that is octet rule. Atoms can combine either by transfer of valence electron from one atom to another, or by sharing of valence electron in order to have an octet in their valence shell. This is known as octet rule. Octet means 8. To complete their octet. For example, oxygen has 6 electrons. Oxygen needs 2 more to complete its octet. So always oxygen is seeking electrons. And due to that, oxygen is reactive. Fluorine needs 1 more electron. So fluorine always seeking for electron. So fluorine is highly reactive. Sodium has an excess electron. So it is ready to give electron. Always it is ready to give electron. And due to this, there are chemical reactions and molecule formation. It is the basis of octet rule. Then Coastal and Lewis explained it in a detailed manner by taking covalent bond and ionic bond. They explained these 2 types of bonds, ionic bond and covalent bond, on the basis of octet rule. All these are very, very familiar to you. What is ionic bond? What is covalent bond? All these are very, very familiar to you. Now, to explain the bond formation in Lewis-Coastal theory, they used Lewis structures. Here you can see the examples of Lewis structure of lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon. In lithium, you can see only one electron. It is the electron present in the outermost shell of lithium. Only one electron. But beryllium has two electrons in the outermost shell. That two electrons are shown here. Boron has three. That three electrons are shown here. Fluorine has 7, 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6 plus 1, 7. Neon has 8, 4 electron pairs. It is represented as 4 electron pairs around neon. So it is Lewis representation of atoms. We are using this Lewis representation in order to explain bond formation in molecules in Lewis causal theory. I think it is clear to you. The Lewis symbols, you are studying it in the high school classes. For example, oxygen, what is the electronic configuration? 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So 2s2, 2p4. Outermost, how many electrons? 2 plus 4, 6 electrons. That 6 electrons are shown here. 2 plus 2, 4 plus 2, 6. 6 electrons are present around oxygen in its outermost shell. Nitrogen, what is the configuration? 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. So 2 plus 3, 5 electrons. 2, then 1, 2, 3, plus 3, 5 electrons. So it is Lewis symbol. Now, ionic bond. We know in the previous case you can see here fluorine has 7 electrons. If it is getting one more electron, it will get the configuration of neon, that is noble gas configuration, or a configuration in which outermost shell has 8 electrons. So if the outermost shell has 8 electrons, that will be stable. So when we compare halogens and alkali metals, what is the case? Halogens need one more electrons, and alkali metals have to remove one electron, then it will get noble gas configuration or 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So the formation of a negative ion from halogen atom and a positive ion from an alkali metal atom is associated with the gain and loss of an electron by the respective atoms. Why they are giving electron or why they are accepting electron? Alkali metal, for example, sodium 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. If it is giving its outermost electron 3s1 electron, it will get the configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 is the configuration of neon, noble gas. So 2s2, 2p6, 6 plus 2, 8 electrons. It has 8 electrons in the outermost shell. In that way also it is getting noble gas configuration or 8 electrons in the outermost shell. And if we consider chlorine, chlorine has 5 plus 2, 7 electrons in its outermost shell. It requires one more electron. So the excess electron in sodium, that the sodium will donate that electron, and chlorine, it can accept that electron in order to get 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So the negative and positive ions thus formed attain stable noble gas electronic configurations. The noble gas have a particularly stable outer shell configuration of 8, NS2, NB6. Then these negative and positive ions are stabilized by electrostatic attraction. The negative and positive ions will exist together, and that electrostatic force of attraction is known as ionic bond. Here sodium and chlorine, that is explained here. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. When it changes to Na plus, by removing one electron, it will get the configuration of neon. But in the case of chlorine, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. When it accepts an electron, 3s2, 3p6 configuration or the configuration of argon. So Cl minus is stable, Na plus is stable, and they will exist together as NaCl. It is an ionic bond, or example 4, ionic bond. Covalent bond. In all the cases, we cannot identify an atom to donate and an atom to accept. For example, here you can see chlorine molecule, Cl2. Both the chlorine atoms require one more electron in order to get 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So here, what is the possibility? Donation not possible, only sharing is possible. The two chlorine atoms will share their electrons. They will share one electron. Then both these chlorine atoms will get 8 electrons. 2, 4, 6 plus 2, 8. 2, 4, 6 plus 2, 8. These two chlorine atoms are getting 8 electrons each. And it is known as covalent bond. If two atoms share a pair of electrons, the bond formed is known as a covalent bond. If one pair of electrons are shared, a single bond will form. And if two pairs of electrons are shared, a double bond will form. That is covalent bond. Now, already we mentioned the representation of Lewis representation of atoms. Now it is the Lewis representation of molecules. You can see hydrogen is formed by H2 is formed. H2 is the molecule that is formed by sharing of a pair of electrons between two hydrogen atoms. That is represented in this way or in this way using a bond. This line represents bond. Here you can see a pair of electrons. Oxygen. Oxygen is formed by two pairs of sharing of two pairs of electrons. That is shown here. After sharing two pairs of electrons, each oxygen atom contains two pairs. Total 3 pairs in one oxygen atom. Out of these 3 pairs, one is shared with the other oxygen atom. So there is remaining 2 pairs of electrons. Or we can represent it in this way. Similarly, it is the case of ozone. Ozone, here you can see 2 pairs of electrons are shared. Here only 1 electron shared. And this oxygen atom is getting only a pair of electrons as unshared electron. So here a positive charge is indicated. Here you can see excess number of electrons. It has 6 pairs of electrons. All the 6 pairs are remaining here. Besides these 6 pairs, it is getting a pair of electrons from this oxygen atom. So it has a negative charge. So here we can draw a double bond, here a single bond. This oxygen is deficient in electrons, so a positive charge. This oxygen has excess electrons, so it has a negative charge. Similarly, if you observe these figures, it will be very clear to you. Try to draw these figures, all these figures, try to draw. If you have any confusion, you refer these pictures. And here you can see these negative and positive charges are known as formal charges. Formal charges. What is a formal charge? Formal charge that is calculated, that is the charge that is concentrating on an atom when it forms a molecule. That is actually not a charge. The molecule as a whole is neutral. So we cannot say it has a positive charge or negative charge. It represents only electron deficiency and presence of excess electron. Only that. Electron density is more, indicated by negative charge. Electron deficiency is there, indicated by positive charge. So, however, there is a formula to calculate this positive and negative charge on each atom. That formula can be represented here. When you see the formula, you may think it is very difficult and there is it is maybe impossible to understand it. No, it is very simple. Formal charge on an atom is equal to total number of valence electrons in the free atom minus total number of non-bonding lone pair of electrons minus half into total number of bonding electrons. Okay, you look here. We can take this ozone. Take this oxygen atom, oxygen number 1. Total number of valence electrons. How many valence electrons are present? It has 6 electrons. Then how many bond pairs? Here you can see a bond pair. Here you can see a bond pair. 2 plus 2 pairs. Total 4 electrons. How many lone pairs? The pairs which are not involved in chemical bonding. So here you can see a pair, another pair. It is lone pair. It is lone pair. So here we identified a particular atom in this molecule, this oxygen, and we identified the valence electron as 6. 2 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs are present. Again, look here. Total number of valence electrons in the free atom. How many? 6 minus total number of non-bonding lone pair electrons. 2 pairs means 4 electrons. 4 electrons. So 6 minus 4, 2 minus half into total number of bonding electrons. 2 pairs, 4 electrons, half into 4, 2. So 2 minus 2, 0. So this first oxygen has no charge. You can see here no charge. Now you go to the second oxygen. Here how many valence electrons? That is 6. All the oxygen has 6 valence electrons. Here how many bond pairs? 1, 2, 3. 3 bond pairs are present. How many lone pairs? Only 1 lone pair is present. So by applying the formula, valence electron 6 minus number of bonding electrons. 3 into 2, 6. So 6 minus 6, 0. Now, how many lone pair of electrons? A pair of electron means 2 lone pair of electron. Half into lone pair of electron 1. So here total number of valence electrons 6 minus total number of non-bonding or lone pair of electrons 2. So 6 minus 2, 4 minus half into total number of bonding or shared electrons. 6 electrons. Half into 6, 3. So 6 minus 2, 4 minus 3, 1. Plus 1. Here you can see the charge is plus 1. And the last one you try and find out. And you will understand it properly. So the stable structure is generally the lowest energy structure is the one with the smallest formal charges on the atoms. So if there is no charge, that is good. The smallest formal charge, that is stable. So I think it is enough for today. We can continue it in the next class.